Hi, good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone where which you are connecting with me live this beautiful Tuesday morning right here in Benin City at the state, Nigeria. First, I want to thank God Almighty for the privilege and the grace that He has given to us to see today. Secondly, I want to say a very big thank you to every of our subscribers. Thank you. Currently, as we speak, we're about 1,486, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you so very much. That's huge for us. And also to our clients all over, those in Benin City, in Lagos, in Imo State. Thank you so very much. This morning on my sixth bed, yeah, we're currently doing the sun filling, and to be honest, it's actually wearing us, and not because there's no capacity, but because the project is quite big, and at the same time, there are one or two issues that currently we have been able to defeat on the project, and that's why I feel that it's very essential that I dish out this information to bring before you so that when you're working on your project, you can also learn from that and see how you can do better. And so I'll be giving us five major factors that can cause a delay on your sand filling project. Before I do that, let me just quickly give a hint that soon I'll be making you understand the amount of sand that we've actually used on this project, the numbers of trips that have actually been executed on this project. Before I do that, let me quickly give you five factors that can cause delay on your project. Number one, the season. The season where which you are executing the sand filling project is a major factor. So for example, if you are actually carrying out your sand filling in the raining season, then you should also expect that there is going to be a little hiccup while you are executing your project. For example, if it rains, the tipper driver may tell you, "Oh, Oga, we cannot bring sand. Though the floor is slippery. The whatever is this and is that," and you get so many excuses, and there are factors that you cannot control. So the season, the raining season, is one season that can cause a delay on your sand filling project. But if it's probably a dry season, wow, fine. Dry season, you're not supposed to have issues with the season as far as it's the drying season. But if it's the raining season, then be expecting to hear one or two excuses from whoever is actually handling your project. Number two, the competency of the subcontractor. The competency of your subcontractor. When I mean a subcontractor, so for example, your sand filling project may probably take 40 trips of sand, or 50 trips of sand, or 70 trips of sand. Yes, that project will be subcontracted to somebody who you know that wants to handle this project. And if that person has competency issues, then be expecting to get a delay in that regard. The competency of the person handling the subcontractor project. So for example, you want to use 40 trips or 50 trips, and then you say, okay, fine, take the money and then bring this out, because they will tell you that, Oga, we need the money to pay at the pit, and you cannot be going to the pit to go and pay for every trip. You get the point. The competency of the person you are subcontracting that sand filling project to is a major factor. Number three, the nature of how your project is being positioned on the land. There is one thing to have your architectural drawing. There is another thing to position your house on the land. So if, for example, you have 100 by 100, and around you've already fenced the property, you get my point, and then you start building. When you want to build, it is ideal that you probably shift the building to one side of the house so that you can have the other side for any other landscaping whatever you want to do in your compound. As soon as you shift the structure close to the fence, that other side of the fence will take time while filling. Why? Because the tipper will not be able to move closer to the fence, as I mean between the fence and the structure, to ensure that they tip the sand. By virtue of that, then that means you will need more manpower to do what? To shift the sand to that extent. But if it is the area that is free and then the tipper can easily tip the sand, then you have workers throw the sand inside, then you're not expecting any delay. So also, if, for example, the property is not fenced around, you have space, then that means the tipper can come, tip the sand around the structure, and then in a couple of days, you have workers tip the sand inside the house and then it is leveled. But if, like I said, the house is positioned close to a fence, then just know that that side of the fence will take a while, and this is also a factor that can cause a delay on the project. Number 4, the manpower. I am one person that I've been thinking about how do we ensure that we reduce the process of manual labor and embrace technology. Yes, because I remember in the heat of the COVID-19, if I'm not mistaken, China built about a 10,000 bed space hospital in less than 10 days. In 10 days, they built an hospital that has 10,000 capacity. That's the bed space, 10,000 in 10 days. How did they build that? Then you should know that, yes, they use human power, but they leverage more on what? On mechanical what? Mechanical extent. So to a very large extent, they use machines more than human. Instead of waiting for 10 people to carry out this job, you can have 3 people doing it with the aid of a machine. So manpower is also an issue that can cause delay when you are fulfilling your project. So, and you know that a job that naturally is supposed to take 3 people, if you are bringing 7 or 10 people on that job, then that means you should be ready for conflict on that job. So to also reduce the aspect of experiencing conflict on your job, you must ensure that the workers you are using on a job per time correlates with the current strength of that job. So I mean to say that how about if, as we're growing, that we could get machines that can help us tip this sand, so you have people that can either shift the sand inside, or the sand is on the building, and then before you know, you just have a machine that comes, move the sand once and for all. So what's supposed to take someone 2 hours to tip, the machine comes in less than 7 minutes, move this thing, and that's all. And this is why we must all grow. And lastly but not the least, the credibility of the person handling your job. As far as I'm concerned, I would not always forget to cite that this very important information. The credibility of the person handling your job can also cause a delay. Why? Because you can probably just send me money, and at the end of the day, you just sent me ₦1,000,000, and I'm like, man, make this ₦1,000,000, maybe just do, we might just use that to trade. Trade for what? It is not your money. That money was sent to you by your clients to use it on the job. Go and use that money to execute that job. You know the consequence if you do not execute that job on time. What if there's hike in the prices of the building material? Then you start running helter-skelter. What if whatever you went to use the money for now failed? Then you now run away, you now start switching off your phone. The credibility of the person handling your project, which happens to be me. So the credibility of the person handling your project is also what? Also a factor. And by virtue of that, so imagine that the person has spent the money on other things, then the person starts giving you excuses. I will not always forget to point back the finger at myself. Why? Because I am also on the feed. With these 5 tips considered, I believe that you can have your project, your sand filling project, executed as supposed. On this project, we used 57 trips. 57, please let me say this very quickly. This is a standard 6-bedroom bungalow. The living room alone is about 4 rooms. Very standard. And it is a specification of the client. Why? Because everybody have the taste of whatever they want. There are people who are royals as mind. The same way you can squeeze your own 4-bedroom in one 30 by 50, some people will tell you that that 4-bedroom on that 30 by 50 is just 2 rooms for them. Yes, it depends on the royalty, on how you see whatever you want to achieve on your project. And because we took time and we took time with the client and his family, and we came in conclusion that, oh, Victor, this is what we want. We want a home where, even though we are spending 1 week in Nigeria, we know that we are in our house. Even though we are spending 1 month in Nigeria, we know we are in our house. So it doesn't look like we left the overseas and we are in Nigeria, and it now looks like we are squatting in our own house. When we have the funds, that God has blessed us, we have the funds to do it. Let us do it how it befits us. And so this 6-bedroom, we used 57 trips. So the first badge was that we brought in 50 trips of sand. We executed that on the site, and currently we brought in 7 trips to wrap up everything. 7 trips, and to wrap up the remaining thing, I'll take you there right now. We are estimating about 3 trips. Then the remaining 4 trips is to carry out what we call backfilling, and this is very essential. Backfilling. What is backfilling? Backfilling is the process of filling around the structure, to fill around the house. Why? Because if you fail to fill around the house, as soon as you rammer or rain falls and the sun sets, the building will begin to tear apart. It will find expression. And in the process of trying to find the expression, it will tear apart. And so, if you multiply 57 trips for 20,000 naira per trip, then you should know how much that is. That's about 1,140,000 naira. 1,140,000 naira just to sand fill. And I mean to say that building in Nigeria is quite expensive. I remember some time ago where that same sand, that same 2-in-1 trip of sand was sold for 5,000. I remember when it was sold for 7,000. So imagine that it actually sold for 7,000 and we got 57 trip. The money cannot be as what we have right now. But because God is God and it would always still provide for his children, we have been able to execute this project, and we want to appreciate our client for being patient with us, his family, and also all the workers that has worked with us on this project. So very shortly, I'm going to take you through so you can see the project for yourself. So follow me carefully. All right, so this point is where it's remaining left. This point is where it's remaining left. Yeah. So this is the dining. This point is the remaining half remaining in the dining, and then we have the kitchen. The kitchen right here almost completed. You can see almost completed. The kitchen store, and then the kitchen veranda at the back. And so this is the project itself. So you can see it for yourself. Yeah, you can see it for yourself. Yeah. All right, so thank you so very much. Thank you so very much for taking your time to follow us every day and every time we come live on Seth. And don't forget that for those people who desire to reach out to us, our contact is 070-6315-1558. I roll over again, 070-6315-1558. My name still remains Victor Olise. And if you're yet to subscribe to our channel, kindly hit the subscribe button right about now and subscribe to our channel. Thank you, and God bless you.